Welcome to Have More Babies. Are you tired of those nightly bedtime battles? Maybe just longing for, peaceful evenings and mornings where everyone actually feels rested? You're definitely not alone there. Today, we're diving into what might be the real secret to peaceful bedtimes. A consistent sleep routine for your kids. We're pulling a lot of our insights from this fantastic article. It's called Say Goodbye to Bedtime Battles: How to Build a Sleep Routine Your Kids Will Love. It was originally in Rethinking Primary Care, so our mission today. Basically, unpack the science and the practical steps behind creating a sleep routine that, well, actually works for your family, giving you that shortcut to being well informed without feeling totally overwhelmed by it all.
Yeah, exactly. And it's really more than just, getting kids to fall asleep faster. What's so interesting is how this consistent routine actually nurtures their overall well-being in pretty deep ways. I mean, think about it. Physical health gets a boost, their mental clarity for school and learning sharpens up, and it really helps with emotional stability too. It's this foundation that sets them up for benefits throughout life. That's why understanding this is, well, it's just so critical.
Okay, that's a really strong why. So before we jump into the how-to part, maybe unpack that a bit more. Why is a structured bedtime routine so, I guess, foundational for kids? What's really going on behind the scenes?
Right. Well, if you look at the bigger picture, a routine gives a child's whole system this predictable rhythm. Physically, sleep is like prime time for growth, growth hormones. They're mostly secreted during deep sleep. So consistent sleep literally helps them grow properly. Plus, a strong immune system really relies on good rest. Kids who don't get enough sleep, they just get sick more often.
That makes sense. And mentally.
Mentally, yeah, a rested brain isn't just awake, it's actually ready to learn, to process things, hold on to information. Even even small sleep deficits can mess with their attention span, their ability to solve problems, consolidate memories. A lot of that happens during sleep.
Mhm.
Imagine trying to learn something complex when your brain just feels foggy all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. And the emotional side.
Oh, emotionally, the impact is huge. Sleep deprivation often looks like, well, more irritability, maybe being more impulsive, kids having a harder time regulating their emotions. A child who gets consistent sleep is just better equipped to handle frustrations, express themselves better, deal with social stuff more calmly.
Wow, okay. So it's way more than just getting some quiet time for us parents. It's really setting them up for success everywhere.
Yeah.
That's a big motivator. So the article lays out 7 clear steps. Let's get practical. Can you walk us through that roadmap?
Absolutely. And these steps, they kind of build on each other to create this really solid routine.
Uh-huh.
Okay, first up, step one, set a consistent bedtime. This is number one for a reason. It regulates their internal clock, that circadian rhythm we were talking about. It's not just about picking a time. Studies show that even like a 30-minute difference in bedtime can affect how they do in school the next day, their mood. It's more impactful than you might think. The article gives some good guidelines based on age. Infants under 1 need about 14, 15 hours total. Toddlers, so 1 to 3 years, need 12, 14 hours. Preschoolers, 3 to 5, around 11, 13 hours. And then school-age kids, 5 to 12, need about 10, 12 hours. But the real key, sticking to that schedule every day, yes, even on weekends, that really cements the rhythm.
Weekends. That's where it often falls apart, doesn't it? What happens psychologically when that consistency wobbles? And what's your best tip for actually keeping it going?
Well, when it wobbles, it basically confuses their internal clock, makes it harder for their body to know when sleep is coming. That can lead to them being overtired, which ironically makes them resist sleep even more on the regular nights. My top tip, think of the bedtime less like a strict rule and more like a sleep anchor. Maybe you allow a little defined flexibility on a special occasion, sure, but you always pull back to that anchor time most nights. The predictability is what does the training.
A sleep anchor. I like that. Okay, makes sense. So bedtime's anchored. What's next to get their bodies and minds ready?
That brings us right to step two. Create a wind-down routine. This is that really crucial bridge between the busy day and rest. The idea is calming activities that signal, okay, time to slow down now. Things like reading a favorite book classic for a reason, right? Or maybe playing some gentle music, or even some simple relaxation things like deep breaths, gentle stretching. These aren't just nice things to do. They actually help lower their heart rate and quiet their mind.
Yeah, I can see how those would really help shift the mood. And then the actual room they sleep in. How vital is that space?
Oh, extremely vital,
Hmm.
which is step three. Optimize the sleep environment. We're talking about making the bedroom a real haven for sleep. The article points out the big three. Darkness, like really dark. Blackout curtains can be amazing. Even a little light can mess with melatonin. Quiet so, minimizing noise from outside, or maybe using a white noise machine for a consistent sound. And of course, comfort, making sure the mattress, the bedding, it's all cozy. A peaceful room definitely promotes better quality sleep, not just getting them in bed.
Right, quality matters. And what about, well, the elephant in the room for modern parents? Screens.
Yes. Step 4. Limit screen time. This is huge. The rule of thumb is no screens for at least an hour before bed. Ideally, maybe even longer. The science is pretty clear. That blue light from tablets, phones, TVs, it messes with melatonin production, the hormone that makes us feel sleepy. But here's something interesting. Even just a quick 15 minutes of screen time right before bed can delay that melatonin release by like an hour, so it makes it harder for them to even start falling asleep. Suggest alternatives instead, drawing, doing a puzzle, quiet play.
Wow, delaying it by an hour from just 15 minutes. That's powerful. Okay, so we've got the time set, the wind down routine, the optimized room, and we've ditched the screens. What ties it all together?
That would be step 5. Stay consistent. We've mentioned it, but it honestly can't be stressed enough. Consistency is paramount. Doing the same routine around the same time every single day even, as much as possible. During vacations or holidays, it reinforces that natural sleep-wake cycle. It's not about being rigid just for the sake of it. It's about giving their body that reliable framework. It makes falling asleep and waking up much easier, much less of a fight. Like building muscle, needs regular, consistent work.
Makes sense. And what about us, the parents? How does our own behavior play into this?
Good question. That's step 6. Lead by example. Kids are like sponges. They really are. They see what we do and they copy it. So if you prioritize your own sleep, if you visibly do your own wind-down things, maybe reading your book while they read theirs, it sends a really strong message. You can even do some wind-down stuff together, like listening to calm music. Makes it feel like a shared positive thing, not just a rule for them.
Yeah, doing it together. I like that. Okay, last step. What about when life happens? Illness, travel, things get disrupted.
Right, because life does happen. That's step 7. Adjust as needed. Consistency is king, but you also need a little flexibility. Keep an eye on their sleep patterns. Be ready to tweak the routine if they're sick or you're traveling or they hit a big developmental leap. The main thing is to try and get back to the established routine as soon as that temporary disruption is over. It's like having that home base to return to.
Okay, so we have the why it's so important and a really clear 7-step how-to. But let's be honest, even with the best plans, sometimes those bedtime battles just happen. What are some practical things parents can do in the moment when things aren't going smoothly?
Yeah, having a toolkit for those moments is super helpful. First off, try to avoid stimulating activities right before bed. So
Yeah.
no roughhousing, no super exciting games. You want to be winding things down, not amping them up.
Right, no last-minute tickle fights. Got it.
Yeah, exactly. Another really good one is to provide a comfort object. A favorite teddy bear, a special blanket. That can give them a real sense of security, which is comforting when they're settling down alone. You can also use relaxation techniques. Teach them simple, deep breathing like breathe in like you're smelling a flower, breathe out like you're blowing out a candle. Or maybe try some guided imagery, telling a calming story in their mind. These can really help ease any anxiety.
Oh, I like the flower candle breathing. That's easy to visualize.
It is, and another really effective tactic. Offer choices within limits. Let them pick which pajamas to wear, maybe out of 2 options. Or choose the bedtime story. It gives them a little bit of control, a sense of independence, which can seriously reduce pushback. Kids really respond to feeling like they have some say.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Give them some power back.
Exactly. And don't forget, positive reinforcement. Praise them when they follow the routine well. Doesn't need to be a huge reward. Just saying, wow, you got ready for bed so quickly tonight, I'm really proud.
Yeah.
Or using a simple sticker chart can really encourage that good behavior. And finally, maybe implement a bedtime countdown. Use a timer or just give verbal cues. Okay, 10 minutes till book time, then 5 minutes till lights out. It helps them mentally prepare for what's coming next. Fewer surprises.
Those are really great, actionable strategies for the tough moments. But what if you've really tried all this? You've been consistent, you've used these strategies, and your child is still seriously struggling with sleep. When should parents think about getting professional help?
That's a really important point. It's crucial to know when it might be something more. If the struggles are ongoing, or if you notice new things popping up, despite your best efforts with these routines, talking to your pediatrician is definitely the next step. Things like persistent, loud snoring, maybe pauses in breathing during sleep, or if they seem excessively sleepy during the day, even after what seems like enough sleep, those are definitely signs to get checked out by a professional.
Okay, good to know these red flags. So, wrapping this all up, it really sounds like creating this consistent sleep routine. Well, it takes patience, right? And a good plan, but also that bit of flexibility. But the payoff, those peaceful nights, rested kids, rested parents, that seems pretty invaluable for the whole family. And hey, if you want to dive even deeper into this, find more great insights. Maybe read articles like How to Establish a Sleep Routine for School Nights or Sleepless Nights. Discover the importance of establishing a bedtime routine for your child. We really recommend visiting omegapediatrics.com. They have just a ton of resources on sleep and many other child health topics. It's a great place to get reliable information. Plus, they're known for being super convenient, especially for families around Roswell, Marietta, Alpharetta, Johns Creek, Sandy Springs, Woodstock, Canton, Ackworth, Kennesaw, and East Cobb. They have walk-ins until 9 p.m. on weekdays, telemedicine for existing patients, even after-hours immunizations sometimes. Really helpful stuff. Definitely check out omegapediatrics.com.
And thinking about all this, it brings up an interesting question for you to mull over. Beyond just sleep, what other parts of your child's day might really benefit from this same kind of consistent structure and predictability we've been discussing? How else could routines maybe empower both kids and parents to, really thrive?
Oh, that's a great thought to leave everyone with. We really hope this discussion gave you some useful tools, maybe a fresh perspective on tackling bedtime. If you found it helpful, we'd love it if you'd like this video, subscribe to our channel for more chats like this, and maybe share it with another parent who could use a little more peace in their evenings. Thank you so much for joining us on Have More Babies. We'll look forward to our next conversation with you. Goodbye for now.
Goodbye for now.